Welcome back, everyone. Ray, here to bring you a quick double block of games. A little different than the rest because these are actually going to be a little shorter, and this one's a little different. It's called Spacegulls. It's a game that came out about a year or two ago that won the NES Dev competition back in, I believe, either 2020 or 2021. It's a very fun platforming bird game that mixes somewhat of Joust and a little bit of Mega Man. So this is going to be a short run, so we're just going to get right into it. The time will start once I hit start here. So we're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Alrighty, so we're a little bird here, and the main premise is that an evil doctor, his name is Dr. Beak, is trying to look for the secret of eternal life. So he believes it's in our little area of our world in which he is digging, and he's also stolen our children. That does not make us happy. So pretty much each room is going to have either just a small little puzzle, or it's going to have enemies we're going to have to kill. And so we're right at the start, we're introduced to our first enemies, in which they're really just stationary characters that shoot bullets after a certain amount of time. Each of these beginning enemies take 2 hits to kill, and you can only hit them from above. And some rooms you have to kill all the enemies, and sometimes you just need the key. So that was our first enemy. Now we have our next 2 enemies. The one you just saw me bypass is similar to the first enemy, but he will actually track you. He'll just keep following you until one of you is dead. And that other one was a green jumper. He just jumps in a left-right pattern. Doesn't really do much more than that. So the game itself is just one giant maze with a couple of breakaway sections that usually bring us to one of our little children that we are actually not going to even bother saving. So we care about stopping Dr. Beak, but we don't care about our children. So this is the first time that we're going to be seeing these homing enemies, and they take 5 hits each. Immediately brought to our next enemy, this little gunner shoots 3 different times, shoots a giant bullet forward, then diagonal, and then up and down. And they take 5 hits each. So I'm going to play it safe. Usually you'll take damage up top and just use the iframes from the spikes to kill these guys a lot quicker, because how the hit detection works is that as long as you're above the enemy, you will make the contact. It's like you're the runner in baseball. So these guys take 5 hits, and you cannot. Any room that you see that is a skull, you can't do until all the enemies and the boss are gone. And just like that, we're introduced to one of our last enemies, the gunners, who what they do is they chase you and try to line up to you, and then after a certain amount of time, they just fire. It's like here, you want to be on top of them. You saw how quickly I was able to kill them. There we go. Okay, just dodge these, and sometimes you got to collect keys. Some rooms need keys. Sometimes you need to kill the enemies. Here, we don't have to worry about these enemies. Just need to collect the key. And you're going to see me hit the save every time, just because you never know when things might go wrong. Might hit jump a little too hard. Might fly into a spike, or you might just not jump high enough to get above an enemy. It's very easy to do, considering that the birds' move mechanics are a little wonky. Oh, I got the double hit. Very nice. In a speedrun, that's what you want to try to do, is get as many of those double hits as you can. It's very tough to do because it's very precise. Okay, another one. Just got to knock off these 3 enemies. You can ignore them. We're about half health. I'm gonna play it safe and get this large egg for health. Okay, now we're getting to the last enemy we're gonna meet, the skateboarding sword swingers. I don't know exactly their name, but all they do is they go left and right until they hit a wall, and every so often, if you get close enough, they swing their sword. It's not too bad. They can be a little trolly because you have to be a certain distance from them for them to activate their attack. As you saw there, he waited until I was a little lower to attack. Now the first big troll room. We have. If you're not paying attention, you'll see the key and think to get it, but the key actually unlocks it, causing the enemy to go into the spikes, forcing you to have to wait until it comes back. Okay, just take out these 2 gunners here. We're gonna wait just a second, wait for them to come up. And let's grab the health. It's always nice to have full health. Okay, and anytime there are enemies that can that can spawn, when it comes to a door that's locked, the only enemies you ever have to kill are the ones that were initially on the screen. Any ones that come up afterwards, you don't have to worry about. And we're actually now into the last 2 sections of the game, except minus the boss. Now it's basically going to take everything we've learned in terms of how to combat these enemies and start putting them together. Okay, unlock this key. Just stand right at this door and you'll kill them every time. Okay, now we have a maze within a maze. We don't really have to worry too much. We're just going to take the middle route. If we needed the health, we would take the bottom route because there is health there. But we need to take the middle route so we can get this key in order to get out. Okay, we are now just 2 rooms away from what I call the climb. Just play it safe. Let's just make sure. There we go. All right, the final room before as I call the climb. Just play it safe. Let's not do anything too irrational. There we go. We got the key. Let's fly off. Alrighty, last save. Now it's time for the climb. It's gonna be 4 rooms of just like in just other enemies, but now you're in a much tighter space. But the good thing here is that I'm low on health, so I can't do the fast ride here, so we're just gonna... Oh, I got the small health. Sometimes you can get the large health there. Okay, kill these last 2. Okay, we've got 2 rooms left. Then we have 2 of these surfer dudes. Okay, I'm gonna play it safe. I at least want to get past this room first. Okay, onto the final room. I might die here, but I'm not gonna fret over it. Okay, I'm gonna wait for him to come down. And I rushed it. Okay, that's fine. The good thing is that when you die, you go back to the save, and every room you have completed is still done, even though the enemies do reappear. So we're just gonna fly up to the room we were just in, and we're gonna start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay, so we're just gonna play it safe. As you can see, there's a lot of spikes here. This can cause a lot of problems, but we're through it. There we go. The final save. Let's get this key, and now it's time to go off against Mr. Beak. He's not too hard of a boss. He'll have 2 guns up top and 2 spawning jumpers. And all you gotta do is you gotta hit the glass on top of him 31 times. Really, you never really have to leave this spot. Just jump when he shoots at diagonals and when the enemies come by, and just keep going. So also, time will be once I touch the bottom of the screen after the fight is done. So once it explodes... Okay, he's almost dead. Bad patterns by these guys. There we go. And once he drops 2 screens, that'll be time. And done. There we go. And that was Spacegulls. It's a short game, but it's a fun game. It's a very fun speed run because it's very short. I believe world record's sub 6, so that tells you how quick this game can get. And it was also made, if anyone has ever played some of these other dev games, it uses the same engine as Bobble, so it gives you an idea of... It's a pretty well-made game. But anywho, with that, we will be right back, and I will be returning for Little Samson, No Auto Bounds.